Hey everyone, it is December 17th, 2023, and I'm very happy to be making another update video for the database. And I think the biggest update here comes in the search department. And I know someone in the Discord was asking about the rear body lock. And we have basically three ways of going about searching for anything now. We have semantic search, which is like a very general search. We have full text search, which basically requires these words to be in the results for them to come up. And then we have a hybrid, which is kind of a combination of the two. So normally the way I've been going about it is I start with the full text search, and we can either look for footage, statistics, sequences, or resources. So we're going to start with footage. You can see we get resources that have the rear body lock in it. And they're also going to have, body lock and basically any words that come up like this. But theoretically, the more it matches this, the higher they should be in the results here. So we should get rear body locks first. And then after that, you'll see more like leg lock stuff. So that's the basic idea behind full text search. And then hybrid search is typically what I go to next. And again, it's going to be a combination of that, but you can see we start to get different kinds of locks that appear higher. And you still get your rear body locks. It's still a pretty solid search. But yeah, that's the basic idea. And then we have semantic search, which is, again, a more general approach to it. But you still should get what you're searching for. But you can see this one doesn't have anything related to rear body lock, at least in the notes. But yeah, that's the basic idea behind the different types of searches. And then, like if you go full text search, and you did rear body lock with statistics, you're not going to get anything. So for statistics, let's say I type in G. So I literally have to pick something that auto-populates here for it to come up with statistics. So let's say we want to look at guillotines. We want to see statistics for guillotines. Nothing's changed here. Still the same information. You can see how guillotines stack up against other positions, other submissions. You can see the positions that guillotines were hit from. You can see the variation of those guillotines. You can see the initiation. So, no surprise here. Takedown offense is in last place when it comes to guillotines. You can see the time that those guillotines are taking place, and you can compare that to kimuras or outside heel hooks, whatever you want to do. All this is the same. But then we can start to look at sequences as well. So you can search guillotine sequences. And if we click this first one, we can see that the guillotine comes up because Joseph attempted this guillotine here, right? So you're going to see sequences that come up for that. And if we go back to search here, let's say we wanted to get a little more nuanced, right? Maybe we want to say guard pass from butterfly half guard. So I just clicked enter, and when you click enter, it's going to go find some footage. So we can see butterfly half guard, guard pass. Beautiful. So let's say we liked this, right? We can click more, and we can save that to a folder. And right now I have a guard passing folder that has half guard and knee shield, but doesn't have a butterfly half guard. So we can go back to our account page, go to folders. We can click our guard passing folder, and we can add a folder. Call that butterfly half guard. Create that folder. And then now, when we go back to our search, it should take us right back to this. And we can open this and say, I really liked this match to study, my butterfly half guard passing. So I want to save this match in my butterfly half guard passing folder. So now when I go back to my folders and I go guard passing and I go butterfly half guard, that match will show up, and I can view that match, and it takes me right to this page. So same thing, if we want to see a guard pass from butterfly half guard and we want to search sequences, maybe nothing's showing up for the full text search. So maybe we go hybrid search. We can see guard pass, half guard to side control. We can view that. And you can see it's kind of we got to train this model a bit more, because right now it's saying butterfly half guard. This is coming up as a result because it's a hook, like a butterfly hook, meaning like the top person has a butterfly hook. So right now the model doesn't kind of understand the difference between when the top person has a butterfly hook, but in jiu-jitsu terms, butterfly half guard means the bottom person has the butterfly hook, right? So this is something that we have to fine tune the model, but we're in the ballpark, right? I'm very happy. Like when we first started, we weren't even in the ballpark on a lot of this stuff. So yeah, it's coming along. But then maybe we view this one, and we can see it's from butterfly half guard now. So we can, watch this sequence, go to Flow Grappling to watch it if you have an account. Or if we like this sequence, we can save this sequence to that butterfly half guard folder. And then maybe we go back and we see this one has a training resource associated with it. So maybe we view it, but that has the hook again. So maybe let's go back to the search. Guard pass from butterfly half guard. We want to search resources now. So we have this resource from Nikki Ryan's instructional about butterfly half guard passing, right? And we watched it, we like it, we want to save it to study later. So we save it to that folder. And again, we go back to this folder that has all of our butterfly half guard stuff. We have that match that we saved, we have the sequence that we saved, and we have the instructional that we saved. You can see they're designated by these different symbols. And if we wanted to go back and view that, we can do that here. Now, the way these resources are currently set up, I think there's pros and cons, right? The con is that you can't just enter any resource, right? You can't just use it as kind of a note-taking guide or note-taking platform and just enter any note that you want from an instructional. They have to be linked directly to sequences from a competition match. So currently, every resource that's entered in the database has a sequence associated with it. And I think this is a pro of the way we set it up, because basically, if you wanted to see an example of what Nikki teaches in his instructional at 4 minutes and 34 seconds into volume 2, you would click this sequence and it takes you to this sequence where Isaac performs the movement that Nikki was talking about in his instructional. And again, if you wanted to save this resource, you could save it to that butterfly half guard folder. And you can see they started in butterfly half guard. So that I think is a pretty cool feature in the database. It's one that I use actually quite a bit. So that's the basic idea behind the search. Let's say you're just not getting what you're looking for in the search. We still have these filter options available. So let's say you want to see that guard pass from, where's half guard, and you want that variation to be butterfly half guard, right? You should get those available to you. And when you view them, you have the butterfly half guard in there. And we're working on right now different ways of presenting this information. So this might look a little bit different in a few weeks, but the general functionality will be the same. And then same thing for training resources. We're working on adding more filter options here, but let's just say you were interested in some techniques that Craig Jones is teaching, and yeah, you want it to be a guard pass. Well, he doesn't have any guard passes, but let's just say position entries. Okay, so cool. These are some, Craig Jones inspired resources. And are any of them free? No, none of them are free. But that's the basic idea, right? And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way it's turned out. Hopefully you guys are finding it useful. And yeah, like I said, we're working on different ways of presenting this information. So it could look a different way aesthetically in a bit. Like, for example, when we go sequences, right now it just displays all of the sequences, but we're working on like different ways of presenting this to make it more user-friendly, right? So yeah, just keep an eye out for future updates in the next month or so. And then after we kind of fine-tune the current process, we're going to work on adding more features and things like that. So that's kind of the basic idea of where we're headed. At least right now, things change constantly, but yeah, that's the roadmap. And talk to you guys in the Discord.